everybody, today we're just going to do a quick tutorial on how I manage orders for out-of-stock items on the Printify platform for my Etsy store. So I hope you find this helpful and gain a little efficiency. If you have a better way of doing this, managing orders for out-of-stock items on Printify, please let me know in the comments. I am all about learning and continuing to improve my efficiency. So we are looking at the order screen here for my Etsy shop. I've covered up the information of the orders that are from my Etsy shop to protect the info. But let's open this first order that is not submitted here yet for John Doe. This you'll see is an order for one t-shirt, black extra large Bella Canvas 3001 with the provider Swift POD. If we click on the product image, it'll expand for us. We'll see this is just a sample design for this example we're giving here. Let's pretend for this example that Swift POD is out of stock of black extra large, and that does happen from time to time, right? Especially, we get into the holiday season late in fourth quarter, and certain suppliers will run out of stock. Black extra large especially is a very common size for t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, and our suppliers will occasionally run out of stock. It can go anywhere from a day to a week or more. And so it's important that we get our orders fulfilled in a timely manner for our customers if we don't want to have to cancel the order. So how do I do that? Let me show you what I do. I only do this for products that I sell regularly. So I don't by default do this for every product I create. But once a shirt or an item is selling and I start to run into issues where my primary supplier is out of stock for something, then I will do what I'm about to show you. What I don't do is I don't use the replace feature. The only reason I use the replace feature for a live listing in my Etsy shop is if I know I just want to switch the supplier to somebody new and not switch it back. Because if we use replace, it's going to make a permanent change to the provider for that product, and it's going to have you republish it to your store to update the SKUs and all of that. And then if I want to put it back, I got to redo this whole replace process. I don't want to do that, right? I want to keep my main product here with Swift POD. I just want to be able to add or replace the black extra large for this order and for any additional order that comes in for black extra large until Swift POD is back in stock. So to do that, I'm going to copy this listing instead of replace it. It's going to drop it right at the top. So I just click the copy button and it drops it right here. Now on this one, I'm going to use the replace feature. So I'm going to go ahead and do replace. It's going to ask me to select a new supplier. For this example, I'm just going to select the Dream Junction because it's got a very similar price for this item, similar production time, and almost all the exact same color selection. It's going to take me to this next screen here where I have to just proceed. It's telling me what I need to review during the replace process. I'm going to use the color settings up here under the product variants to make sure I get the colors that I need. So for this one, I definitely want black. We'll add black. Here's where I suggest you take a moment and either in another tab or on another screen, if you have it, bring up this same view, the edit or the preview. I'll switch over to preview view for the original listing. And I would suggest doing this just to make sure that this sort of temporary backup listing is as close to identical as possible when it comes to the size and placement of the design. You don't want a few orders going out that are just significantly different than the original. So use the measurements, use points of reference on the product. So like, where's the armpit of the shirt? Where is the edge of the collar? Try to get it as close as you can so that you don't have any significant differences in this backup draft listing. Once I do that, the button to save is behind me on the screen, so hit the Save Product button. After you make all your adjustments, it'll take you to this Editing the Listing screen. One nice thing about doing this, we don't have to worry about any of this stuff. We're not going to push this listing to our store. We're just going to save it as a draft, which is this button down here. So the description, the title, the pricing, none of that matters because the customer is never going to see any of this on this backup draft listing. So we'll save it as a draft. Now we've got this copy of sample t-shirt is the copy. We've got both. Only one is live in the store. That's the one with the Swift POD. Now that I have this, I can use this extra listing as many times as I need to in the future to replace when SwiftPOD is out of stock. So now let's go back to the order page and I'll show you how to do that. We'll open our order that we need to swap the product out. All we're going to do is use the pencil up here at the top to edit the order. We are going to use the trash can on this little pop-up window to remove the SwiftPOD shirt. Remember, that was a black extra large. Always take a mental note of the size and color. Now you will have to use the search here if you created this draft a while ago, but since this is the most recent one I created, it's right here on top of the list, so I will select that. It was a black and it was a extra large. There we go, black extra large at our backup supplier, the Dream Junction. We'll hit continue. Shouldn't have to change anything here for the customer info unless something needs to be corrected, so we'll hit continue. It'll take us to the confirm order page where we can see the final price, $11.85. Double check everything is good and hit the fulfill button, and we are done. So that is how I do it. I create a draft listing that's a duplicate with a different supplier. And now in the future, anytime that SwiftPOD is out of stock for a size or color of this design on this shirt, I can fulfill the order by simply swapping out the product, doing only these last couple of steps to edit the order that we showed. And again, I don't recommend doing that automatically for every product you create. Wait until this issue comes up and then create the draft so that you can reuse that in the future. But if you never run into it, you don't have to spend the time creating it for every single product. So I hope this helps. Again, if anybody out there has a better way of managing their orders for out of stock items, please let me know, because I'd love to learn and get more efficient. But I hope this does help. If you didn't have a better way of doing it currently, let me know in the comments if it did help you, and we'll see you next time.